What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Today, as you can see behind me, I got the all new Range Rover to show you guys. If you watched this abomination over here, I just wanted to say thank you for watching that lesser quality video of mine, and hopefully this one will make up for it. And this will be my real proper review of the all new Range Rover. Let's start off front like usual. I gotta say, the black paint job, you can never go wrong with a black Range Rover, especially a full size. It fits the car to a T. This one is called Santorini Black. It is one of the base paint jobs, which you do have a decent amount of options for base paint jobs this year, so that is very nice. The most expensive paint job, like usual, Range Rover offers is almost $13,000, or maybe a little over $13,000. Now, we do have the Atlas Nickel package, I believe they call it, which is the standard package on this trim. So it grays out all the trim or the lettering on the hood. If you get the Shadow Exterior package, which is an extra $1,100, that will black out the lettering around the car, give you a black grille, black lower portion. But overall, even the gray looks very nice. Sometimes I think black on black may not look the best because the gray lettering on here, in my opinion, looks very nice as well. So that is another thing. The headlights, these are a premium LED headlights. They are the base headlights. You can also get a Pixel LED premium headlight, which is an extra $500. You know, I'm not gonna say anything about it, because either or, whatever option you pick, you can't go wrong. Both headlights look beautiful. If you got extra cash and it's just burning a hole in your pocket, why not get that Pixel LED headlight? But overall, the front end for a whole new generation, I really dig it. I think it's an improvement over the previous generation, and just looking at it from all over, really, I have nothing bad to say about it. Get used to me saying this car is very nice, because man, once you're actually with it in person and you drive it and you're in and around it, like, it's nice. It definitely is nice. Now let me move on to the side. When we take a look at the side, I'm glad they kept that traditional Range Rover look that we all know this vehicle to have that side profile of, and I just think, like, oh man, it is extremely beautiful. Just one of the cleanest designs out there, in my opinion. I extremely like how there's little window trims on the bottom. The side panels just basically fold into the windows, and I think it's beautiful. It gives it off a very, Rolls-Royce Cullinan kind of rear end look, in my opinion. Now, since I was talking about the windows, let's talk about the glass, since the full-size Range Rover always had some interesting glass options. So we do have laminated front windows and toughened rear windows, whatever that means. I think it's just strengthened rear glass. They are tinted. Privacy windows are standard on this, so that's nice. For an extra cost, you can also get laminated front and rear windows. So, do what you want. If you're a celebrity or something, I guess you want that. Maybe, I don't know. Anyways, so moving on to the wheels now. So the base wheel is a 21-inch wheel. We do have the upgraded 23-inch 1075 style wheel, which is an extra quite a bit of money for the wheels. And one of the things I'll always advocate is whenever you get a new Range Rover, it's always a good deal to get the full-size spare. Because the full-size spare at a 23-inch wheel for this Range Rover is just $750, which is, if you look at it with the tire and rim, is pretty good, considering how expensive these wheels would be if you were to buy them, differently, like at a retailer. So aside from that, the side profile just, yeah, it's super just minimalistic. It looks clean as, like, it's crazy as hell. The side little trim right after the front quarter panels also look very, very nice. And yeah, the stance is just beautiful. The powered side steps, I know it's kind of standard in a lot of cars nowadays. The handles that flush in very nicely, like, it's just all, gives you a really great impression. It looks extremely beautiful. I just can't get over how nice and clean the design is. So while I'm around here, I'm gonna go to the back. Here I am at the back of the new Range Rover. Yeah, like, what a very interesting design. Now, when I first saw this being revealed, this was the part where I was like, I'm not too sure about the rear end. Everything else looks nice, but I'm not too sure about the rear end. But as time has gone by, I really have grown to enjoy the rear end. It gives, once again, that very, like, I just see a lot of Rolls-Royce Cullinan in here, just the way the body lines work. And the tail lights, like, how cool are those? Completely blacked out. You can't even see where the housing is if you're not a car person. and it's one of the brightest LEDs for them to shine through that dark lens. Even the way the side markers, whenever you turn your signals on, light up, it's just very cool. I think they did a great job with making everything look just sophisticated and just clean, and it's very, very beautiful. This one does have towing capabilities. I mean, every Range Rover does actually. This one has a hitch equipped to it, is what I was trying to say. I'll put the numbers of how much it can tow on the screen here for you now. Aside from that, I do also love, this one doesn't have visible exhaust, but if you go towards the bottom, like right here, let me get closer, you can definitely see the quad exhaust. And before I open up and tell you how much space it has, I guess I might as well start it up and let you listen to the exhaust sound. So here you go. All right, so while I'm at the back here, and hopefully you like that exhaust sound, it sounds nice from the inside, but from the outside it's kind of muted. Let's take a look at the cargo area. Here's the key fob. Press and hold the button here to open up the power tailgate, obviously. Once open, you have your dual unfolding tailgate, which is very, very nice. I gotta say, it's got that traditional Range Rover carpet, which I could just sleep on, which feels very, very nice. It's got a very clean look back here. It's got actually a hard mounted privacy blocker there, so I'll leave that. So when you're taking a look at the cargo area, you have a little over 40 cubic feet of storage space behind the second row. And if you need more, you can always fold down that second row seat and get a little over 83 cubic feet. So you have definitely usable space. Not the most, just because of the shape, and it's a luxury car, so it's trying to be more luxury packed instead of convenient, but you can still have a lot of convenience with this. The little things around the back, you have some LED lights around here. You have buttons that could fold down your second row seats, so that's very nice. You can just push that down. You have a button to lower and raise the rear cargo area in case you need more space as well. So hopefully that was a nice little brief tour of the outside. Hopefully you enjoyed that. Let me go to the inside and show you what we got. Thank you to Jaguar Land Rover of Calgary, Alberta for letting me borrow this all-new Range Rover. If you're looking for one of these, be sure to visit their website. The link is right below that like button. All right, time to jump into the new Range Rover. Now, you can go into this vehicle a few different ways. You can always press this button right here and it'll power up. These are the most strongest electric motors in the industry. It says Range Rover. The steps come down automatically as well, so that's nice. I noticed it has a new locking sound, so here, listen to this. Press once. Oh, wow, that's very nice, luxury sounding. The old one was kind of dinky, but this one that sounds very, very nice. I love it. So let's actually jump in. Even just everything feels just so nice. The rainbow haze kind of in the body just screams niceness to me, to be honest with you. All right, so starting off the door panel as per usual. I love the black wood option. It looks brown over here because the sunlight's hitting it, but it's actually a dark wood. The natural base trim is usually a brown walnut veneer, but this is an upgraded one. It does cost you more money. The leather on the upper door panel, the stitching, the Meridian surround sound system is great, and just how squishy and soft this is. The leather, all soft touch, silver trimmed, very nice. The handle is the most impressive part. I like this satin kind of finish for the metal, by the way, but this, holy smokes, super sturdy feeling and very, very nice. Your seat controls built into the door panel, very Mercedes-like. They feel nice and sturdy, so that's awesome. The window switches, I've seen these before, but they're great quality switches, so no complaints. And a nice grab handle as well. Now, looking into the vehicle, just beautiful. Just absolutely beautiful. I'm gonna jump in here, and I'll leave the window or door open, sorry, so you can hear. Now, look at the steering wheel, the duotone with the white leather and the black outer wheel. It's airbagged, is stitched leather, feels very, very nice. Now I'll start it up. The button has moved from over here to down over here. There's a foot on the brake and power button. Let's turn off the music. All right, so our driver's display. All right, I'll close the door. Okay, Okay, there we go. Now, look at this. It's beautiful. Now, our driver display is one thing I was really like happy to see. It's not a traditional indent into the area, as you can see over here. It looks like it's kind of like floating to the side. And I think it looks very cool. It's very futuristic. It's interactive, just like these buttons as well. Of course, it's the heated steering wheel and the metal paddle shifters I've seen before. Very, very good quality, nice feel as well. But this display though, it's just very nice. As you can see, you can select basically anything you want. So I'll just go display layout. Let's put the full map on here. And look at that. That looks very nice, you know, just very cool and smooth and simple. So that is another thing I very, very like. I like a lot. The upper portion here, it's not leather. It is some kind of material. It's soft touch. It feels nice, and it's very squishy. So the stitching is authentic. The metal trim for the vents, it flows through. It's a very common trend, it seems like, nowadays, with this whole grille to the right side of the vehicle. Even when these vents move, as you can see, this metal portion barely moves, so it keeps that consistency around. Now, a big change is this gigantic screen. I believe it's a 13.1 inch Pivi Pro upgraded. Not too much from the like Jaguar F-Paces, but definitely like improved in terms of software, and just the refinement is better. The map itself, very, very nice. It looks beautiful, just this gigantic screen in my opinion. And it's got like haptic feedback, which is new, which I haven't noticed on any other Rovers or Jaguars before. So you probably heard that, right? So you definitely have to press in a little bit more. Now, the backup camera, there you go. Really good quality. You got the 360 cam, the nice high, good resolution as well. So that is nice to see. I'll put that in the park area, and you could even access the cameras when it's not in reverse mode. Of course, you have Android Auto, Apple CarPlay available, and I don't know what else to really mention. It's a very great system. You know, there's nothing really to mention. You expect this to be great, and it is great in my opinion. So I think it definitely approves in my book. And I love just the consistency and how simple this thing is. It doesn't have a lot of buttons everywhere. Talking about buttons, we have some for the traditional dual tier glove boxes for the Range Rover. So there's the bottom one, of course, lined with felt. It dropped very nicely and smooth. And this one you can pull over for a seat compartment, so that's very nice. A little power outlet in there as well, felt outlined as well. And that birch wood just going in over here as well, as you can see. So that is very, very nice. Now, moving down towards the HVAC controls, it's similar to what we know, just refined, a little bit more upgraded and better in my opinion. All digital, so that's nice, you know, gives you a little indication of where you're going, so that's nice. You can pull on it and it'll give you your fan speeds, so that is cool. I liked how the animation is changed too. It's a little bit on the slower end, but the animations are very smooth. And if you want to push this in, it'll give you controls for your seats, for your heated seats. This one doesn't have ventilated seats, which I was very surprised for this price point in my opinion. I think it should have had it. The seats are 20-way power adjusting, and they are heated. Same with the rear, they're power recline and heated as well, but they're not ventilated. You have to pay more for that. So it's not a whole lot more, but still, I mean, I think it should have been included for the price tag. Anyway, so this area is one of my least favorite, I would say. The knobs are great, hashtag save the knobs, you know, I gotta say it. But this area it's okay, because it has that whole, you know, panel that pushes in when you want to press one thing. For example, you want to change the airflow, press this button, and from here you can do it great. But you can see, if I kind of get in a little bit closer, how this entire panel moves. Right, you see what I mean? You see the entire thing move. So that's not really my best ideal way of making this kind of setup, but you know, I don't have too many complaints with it. I could live with it. The black birch wood just feels great. Nice matte finish. You know, it's not going to get fingerprints everywhere, so that's nice to see. And the doors, you know, they slide in very nicely. It has a nice satisfying click as well. And once you open up door number one there, you have a little felt area for, I guess, your phone, a little USB charger. And it looks like there is a wireless charger right here, so that's very nice. To close it, you push it in, and it slides closed. Beautiful. Now, the shifter, I've seen this in like the Velar and the F-Pace. It's a great shifter. Electric, press the power button on the back here, towards the back right here. And you can put it into drive, for example, and then push button for park. Your start-stop button that's changed, your volume knob, I love it. You can't have a vehicle without a volume knob, in my opinion. And then your drive mode selector. So if I can go home and then, oh, whoops, I didn't press. One thing I have noticed, I have to press a little bit more firm than you're used to, for example, because it is haptics. You got to press a little bit more. You can turn that off, by the way. So when we rotate this over here, you can see on the bottom, it shows you whatever you want. For example, all your different driving modes, right? I usually keep it on auto or comfort or eco, or dynamic, I guess. And over here, it'll show you like a nice little design and the Range Rover. But it's not color matched, which is, you know, it'd be nice to see your Range Rover color on there. So, but oh well, that's fine with me. So I like that. The graphics are very, very nice. Like this graphic is very nice, as you can see, even when I get close up to it. Anyways, so behind the second door now is your cup holders, and yeah, they're decently pressed in. No Tim Hortons today. Tim Hortons sponsor your boy. I need that coffee. And then you push this in, it'll slide back in as well. This also feels very nice. It's plush, as you can see. The stitching is great. The Range Rover classic traditional armrests that are beside the center console, as we're accustomed to. Once you open this baby up, then you have a decent amount of, it looks like a black void right now. You could just fall in there. But it's about, I would say, more than a foot deep. So, you know, that's crazy. That is crazy. And you also, looks like just have a light in there, nothing else. I'm sure there's a cool storage area available if you upgrade. And then the headrest, as you can see, it's dual tone. It has that white, black, and then white look again. Even the grab handles, they just feel very nice, and they're like appointed very nicely. Now this is a microfiber. You can get leather. Let me open up the shade here to show you what we got going on. And it feels nice. You can get a leather one, and you could make it the same color as your interior. So I think it's a nice touch as well. And like the gigantic panel roof over the roof. It's crazy. It looks very nice. There's a lot of light in, and it's tinted, obviously, as you can see, so it blocks in the heat. But if you want to look at the sky, it's very nice. Even your lighting over here, you know, you got the dual sun visors going on, and then your LED lights. Oh, there's me. And yeah, it's no complaints for me, to be honest with you. Now, talking about these seats, boy, are they nice and plushy. Like, look at this. Look at the headrest. That's thick. And it just feels very, very nice. I know the upper end Range Rover, like even the higher trims, you can like curve them in to like surround your head, like airplanes basically, and they're comfortable. And even the seats, though, like they're super plush. The perforations, the stitching, the quality of them, even the base of the seats, like they're super soft, and I wouldn't expect any less, to be honest with you. Now, I'm 6'1". I'm gonna get into a comfortable driving position, and I'll see you in the second row just to show you how much space I have. All right, time to jump into the second row. Same kind of deal. I didn't move anything. Hold on. With the power of editing, I'm gonna make all this stuff in the seat go. And I'm back. Okay, so with the door panels, for example, same look, same great sturdy door handles and satin polished metal, and your trim for your door panels, and the stitching. It's just beautiful. The dual tone. Your controls, of course, I'll get into that. As you can see, this has a nice little, at least like decoy control switch, because this only has the power recline. If you get to higher trims, you can have more customized controls that will go here. But I like to see they put an effort, though. Even though you don't have it, it looks nice. It's not like a blank switch, you know. So here is the initial back seat kind of look before you step in. I'm gonna jump in now. Now I'm gonna leave the door open because I actually turned off the car. Now I have insane amounts of space. The seat is where I would be, and it's pretty far back even, actually. I got, like, I'd say 4 inches of knee room, and even my feet area, like, loads and loads of space underneath here, in my opinion. They're not even touching the top of this. You have to go up pretty high to do that. But yeah, like, headroom, lots. I'd say a couple inches, actually, but the headrest is so comfortable. Now, the center console here, love to see it, that same wood. Like, you can actually feel the wood over here, like the wood grain. Be careful not to get splinters. I'm sure you're not get splinters, but you can feel a little bit of edginess to it. Even the rear vents, like, look at them. They're very nicely appointed with this like dark, I can't tell if it's dark like metal or plastic. It looks like metal, but it looks very nice. And even like they don't move. These things over here, they could direct your airflow, but they don't move, and it makes it look very like high end and very nice. Of course, down here, you're going to have your climate control, where you can adjust your temperature and fan speed, and your heated seats. The carpets, beautiful as ever, and the seats, very, very nice. If you lower this area over here, for example, you're going to have your cup holders. Press the first button, and you have a little storage pocket. Felt lines, super soft. Like, I like how this is even very nicely appointed. It just looks very nice. Your cup holders, you press this in, and voila, they kind of come in very exaggerated, but they look very, very nice though. And yeah, you know, it's nice to see there's no cost cutting going on. Even the rear seats, headrest, they're very nice and plush. The seats themselves are basically the exact same and super, you know, squishy. Now, some of these door controls that I said I would go over, like right here, your window switches, and you have a couple of your reading lights over here. Your, let me get closer. You have your sunshade, and then you have a button to, I guess, mute the audio. And then from here, you can press the button to control the other window, even if you're on this side, which is pretty cool, you know, which is pretty cool. Now, I think I've shown you as much as I could here before it gets dark. I'm going to go on a drive, which is the last thing we usually do. And, oh, wait, actually, I got to show you the engine. So let me show you the engine, and then we'll go for a drive. All right, so let me show you what's underneath the hood. It is a 4.4 liter twin turbo V8. It is BMW derived. Ours makes 523 horsepower. It does 0 to 60 in 4.6 seconds. It's crazy. It's insane how fast this thing is for its size. Definitely impressive and nothing to joke around with, in my opinion. Now, the base engine, you have a few different engine options. The base engine does give you almost 400 horsepower. It's a 6-cylinder, so it's definitely not bad. There's also, I think, plug-in hybrid versions of this coming as well, which bumps your power up to, I think, like 430, 440. So definitely, you know, usable. And it's nice to see that possibly for the last ever Range Rover still gets a V8 engine. So I'm happy to see that. Are we obviously going to get anything more performance-oriented? I doubt it, to be honest with you. Probably more luxury-oriented, but now it's time to go for a drive. So let's go. All right, so here we are in the Range Rover, the all-new Range Rover. Time to do a driving test. Now, this thing hauls, especially for the size, and the twin turbo is just beautiful. So my favorite way of showing the driver display is actually a mode called Focused. It blends in the map very nicely and has like a more of a traditional F1 looking tack. It looks beautiful with the red accents. In dynamic mode, peak. I'll put a picture of them there to show you guys. So, okay, are we ready for the acceleration test? Let me make sure I'm actually in my proper seating spot. Okay, man, the electric, everything works flawlessly here for now. Okay, are we ready? It's in dynamic mode. Whoa. Wow, this thing has insane amounts of power. Oh my Lord. Yeah, just for how fast it is, for the size, is very scary in my opinion. You could feel a little bit of uneasiness, obviously. This isn't the lowest center of gravity handling machine that we would, you know, assume like an SVR to be, obviously, but it's so impressive for its size. And while I was driving around a little bit in this thing beforehand, like, the comfort is undeniably, you know, impeccable. The outside road noise is very, very minimal. When you're driving even on the highway, it's just you barely hear anything at all. So no complaints on that end. And the comfort, just going over bumps and the air suspension, it handles it very, very well. Handling is probably the only thing I would say. Obviously, you don't want to be taking this thing around corners very fast because it's not meant for that, and you'll probably flip over eventually if you do. Talking about flipping over, like the sticker that's on the visor has been here for quite a while. It's still got like an old school Land Rover on there, so that's funny to see. But hey, that's an Easter egg, I guess you can say. The tech in this thing, also the interior lighting. I'll throw some shots up as much as I can, things that are easier to see at nighttime. But the cabin lighting, it's okay. You know, I think you could probably get an upgraded cabin lighting setup, because this one's like you can pick two different colors and etc. But overall, it's not that bad at all. So I'm gonna make sure I have my lights on now. Obviously, it's pretty dark. The screen, it has, you know, the UI for the software has a dark mode, so it makes it look nicer at nighttime. And even during the day, it looked very nice when I had it. And the rear view mirror has that mirror with the camera in the back. That's why it has two shark fins, so it gives you a better visibility of the rear in case you have a tough time seeing. But overall, like the the side mirrors, though they're like narrow and tall like that, they still look pretty nice with the vehicle's profile, and they show a lot as well. You don't have too much blind spots going on. Surprisingly, even that D-pillar back there, it's not as thick as you would assume when you're on the inside driving it, right? And you just have a very like commanding view of the road. Like it's very, very, very nice. I hate that start-stop feature, to be honest with you. I'm sure I could turn it off within the settings here. I just haven't looked yet. But, you know, like look at the view up front too. It looks beautiful. Like this vehicle. It's just a very nice commanding view of the road. It's a nice comfortable drive. And if you like keeping things subtle yet, you know, really clean looking, this is the vehicle to get, in my opinion. Because aside from that, like the most important thing, as we always talk about in these videos, is the pricing. Now, very, very expensive, but you know that when you look into, no matter what Range Rover full-size model you get, you know that these vehicles, they are very pricey, and it's just the way it is. So you have to pay to play, and you know, so you pay, and you're gonna play around with this thing a lot when you do. Now this one is selling for almost $250,000 in Canada here, which I'll throw the numbers up on the screen for the US conversion. Quite a bit of change, you know, almost $250,000 here in Canada, which, wow. You know, I think it's the most expensive vehicle I've reviewed in terms of what I've driven. I know that SV Autobiography Ultimate Edition is more expensive, but I never drove that, but this one I have. And you know, when it comes down to, are vehicles worth it for you spending that much money on this thing? And that's up to you to decide, you know. If I had, you know, enough money to be able to afford a vehicle like this, would I get one? I probably would, just because of how, you know, comfortable it is. And we know how the reputation with JLR products are. And if I had the money to buy this thing, I would assume I had the money to, you know, repair it and take care of it and etc. So, but you know, that is my brief kind of drive. It's super, super comfortable. Not good on gas with a V8, but it's super comfortable, especially times like today. But yeah, super comfortable drive. Great tech features as well. I love it. It's very clean and simplistic design. If you're more of an aesthetics kind of person, I think you'll really enjoy this vehicle, just because of how, you know, how much, you know, I guess status you feel from the vehicle, if that's your thing. But yeah, I'll leave it at that. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.